check. Mic 2, mic 2. My mic's been a little echoey lately. Whatever. Alright. 1 second, chat. Someone unfollow me and refollow me. Check, check. Can you hear me? Check, check. Hey, chat. If just one person follows me right now, I'll get off the intro screen. Hey, chat. Boom. I can't believe I couldn't get one person to follow me. How disappointing. You guys constantly make me have to work for it. Why can't people just follow me and I just do nothing? I'm just kidding, guys. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Hop out of my Discord real quick. I know, out of 61 people, someone just followed me. TikTok just popped a thing up that was like, your live is ineligible to be promoted because of something. And I'm like, what? Can you tell me what? It said it violates content something. I'm like, what? Talking about the weather? Is that against the TikTok violation? We'll see if it... I appealed it like right away. I hit appeal. Have them look at my live. Never had that happen before. The fam's good. Fam's good. We're real close to something. Let me tell you that. I might have to take the next few days off. I need to get some water before we get started, crew. But before I do that, let's just look at this little tornado warning we got up here real quick. Just to the south of Charleston, Illinois, southwest. We're gonna go over everything that's going on this week. We're definitely gonna have a Saturday risk zone out of the East Coast. I don't care what the SBC says. It's going to happen. This is not a very good looking... okay, that's going to expire probably. That's a little flimsy thing there. But just in case... Oh, there it goes. Well, I called that, didn't I? And it's gone. Anyone know where that's from? And it's gone. Yeah, what was this thing that it said it wasn't going to promote? It wasn't going to promote my stream. When I started streaming, it was like, you're in violation of something. We are not going to promote your stream. I was like, what the heck? That's never happened to me. All right, give me 1 second, chat. I need some water. And then we'll get started. Hey, chat. Chat. TikTok's messing with me. I think I'm gonna close this live and then reopen it because TikTok sent me some weird, sketchy message that was like, "We're not promoting your live because you're violating our content." Blah, blah, blah. Stupid. I mean, real humans don't work at TikTok. It's all bots, and they constantly mess things up and disqualify my videos. And I've probably won 8 video appeals in the last 2 weeks. Every single time they disqualify my video and I appeal it, I win it because it's literally just bots who don't know what they're doing. And now they're making sure no one can see my live. So I'm constantly having to fight with TikTok robots, and it's going to be the death of me. Like, I literally cannot stand TikTok, and I hope they're listening to me. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to reopen it. Yeah, it's literally the most... I'm growing my YouTube channel. The second that thing gets bigger, I'm gone. This app is off my phone. They're so horrible to creators. All right, let me close this and reopen it. I'm going to close, get out of the live. I'm going to reopen it. All right. Let's see if it works this time. Let's see if we can get it to work this time. Santi, you're back quick. Charles, Leanne, MK. Yeah, you know what? You guys, thank you for being on the YouTube side of this, because YouTube never screws with me. Okay? Let me explain to you what happens. Maybe I want to wait for more people to get in here on the other side. Let me explain to you what happens when you have a problem on YouTube. You chat with someone, like a real person, and you can tell because they make spelling mistakes and they have a personality. You know, it's easy to tell when you're talking with AI how they're like super like, "Hello, sir. My name is blah, 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 blah." Well, YouTube, you like chat with someone and they're like, "Hey, how can I help?" And or and I know they're not bots too, because you can also get on the phone with them and talk to them. And I can be like, "Hey, my videos keep getting disqualified. it says that they're low quality. They're all uploaded in 4K. And then they're like, oh, dot, 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 dot. Let me put you on hold. And they come back and they're like, wow, we saw that this just happened to 4 or 5 videos in a row. We'll make sure this doesn't happen again. Thanks for letting us know it's an error. And then I'm like, oh, thank you, YouTube. And then I go on with my merry way. Any error, any issue I've ever had on YouTube, they're just like, here, let me help. It's like the greatest customer service ever. TikTok's like, I'm a robot and I'm taking your account down and paying you no money and making you go through 3-week appeals. And in the million views you got in that 3 weeks will be erased and you'll make none of the money and you'll like it. Like, it's literally horrible. I've never, ever once spoken with a human being who worked at TikTok. Ever. Swear to God. Swear to God. I have over 24 million views on TikTok. I've never spoken to a human being that works at TikTok. I've spoken with probably 100 people who work at YouTube, like actual humans. They message you and you talk with them on the phone when you have problems. Imagine that. Imagine getting to talk to a human who works at a place when you have a problem at that place. Jesus, that is a concept. Anyways, my rant's done. Cool. And now my views are fixed. Yeah, no, it's disgusting. I mean, some of you probably have a TikTok. Have you ever been, like, some of you have probably uploaded videos. Have you ever spoken to a real person when you appeal? Have you ever been able to call? Is there a helpline to call and someone answers at TikTok? Right? And you can't talk to a real human being, right? I don't think anyone ever has talked to a real human being at TikTok. Nope. Santi said, yes, I don't work for TikTok. Ask any creator. Ask the biggest creators on the platform. Unless you have like 10 million plus followers, and then I think they give you like a personal, like someone who's like, they assign you like a personal TikTok person. You have to have like a crazy amount of followers. You do not ever get to talk to a real human. Yeah, it's really messed up. And I'm nervous because I feel like in 10 to 20 years, that's how every single platform is going to be. That's how like grocery shopping is going to be. Like everything is going to be like that. And if you have a problem, or you're going to have to deal with a robot. And then we're all going to be living in the world of WALL-E. And it all started with TikTok. It does. I'm shaking. I have dealt with so much crap. Like literally 5 of the last 7 videos disqualified for low quality and stolen content. I appeal. 3-4 days later, they go, oh, we made an error. We are so sorry. It was not stolen and it wasn't low quality. I'm like, thanks. And they're like, but you don't earn anything from it because of our mistake. And then when I go live, they tell me that my lives are showing like violent content. Does this look violent to you? Anyways, drives me crazy, but we're going to be okay. Literally no issues with YouTube ever. Let's talk about the weather. All right, let me see. Let's see what's going on with the chat. Saturday morning for Georgia? Yeah, I can do that. Give me a second, Austin. TikTok hit me with community violations for telling someone to go F themselves after threatened violence and was told there was nothing wrong with their comment. Yeah, sounds about right. I feel like MK and Charles are best friends through YouTube chat now. Or did you guys already know each other? What's it looking like for Cape Girardeau? Okay, well, let's go over. Okay, so there's not much severe weather going on here, right? So maybe we just want to get over to pivotal weather. I will say there's some strong winds with this boundary here. And sorry I'm on late. I've had to deal with a bunch of crap with Discord too because I'm trying to like set up and expand the servers and do all this stuff, and I'm not super tech savvy and it's taking me forever. Okay, let's just talk about, there's not much going on tonight. This is a pretty strong boundary that's moving through. I will tell you, we may see in one of these upcoming days a little bit, you're right in front of the boundary. We're not seeing 70 plus mile per hour winds. We're seeing pretty average severe thunderstorm warning, so I think you'll be okay. Yeah, it's about to go through College Station. Let's go over to pivotal weather. And let's get the report for everything coming up. Let's do it. I'm going to have to switch the screen on. I should have set this up before stream. There we go. Oh, what the heck? That's not where it's supposed to be. Oh, yeah, it is. Boop. There she is. Okay. And... And hi, Climate Crew. Anyone who's in here... Discord's gotten pretty good so far. I mean, I've only had it for like a couple of weeks, guys, and we have like a ton of people in there. People are communicating, giving ideas. It's freaking awesome. I'm so excited. Like, imagine where it's going to be in 6 months to a year. Julie, NTX, I appreciate you guys. Santi, I'll fix it. I'll message you on Discord. My weather app says I have hail and winds tomorrow, but I'm in Illinois, not anywhere near the risk. Well, let's look. Let's get into first. We'll take a look at our SPC. We will take a look at our SPC. Let me stop this from loading for a second. Okay. We know what's going on with our day one. Here's our day two, and we're going to look at the time frame for this. There is general thunder and marginal, and then far southeastern Illinois, there is a slight. The southeast is looking pretty good. The southeast is just general thunder. You could get some severe weather. Atlanta, maybe into the north. We'll have to watch that. We'll go and actually look at the models and show what they say. You know what I want, guys? I want freaking hurricane season. I need a hurricane in my life. We've got nothing day 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's look at the Rufus because this model's wild. And let's see what it shows for everyone. Hey, Pam. Pam has entered the chat. Okay. All right. Do you see what's happening down here? This is already wrong. We don't have a huge line of supercells down there, so I don't know what the Rufus is doing with this. But this is a crazy look. What it's showing is supercells like all through this region. That's probably not going to happen. You know, I don't even like it's being way too aggressive. I'm not even going to use that model. That's being ridiculous. It's being dramatic. You know what I mean? It's giving dramatic. Okay. That's more. This is more correct. This is why we like the her. So first of all, this is probably going to be windy. That's probably going to be windy. 2 a.m. There it is. Yeah, that's a lot of wind moving up the coast there. So tomorrow morning, nice little breeze for the northeast. Yeah, when you're on the tail end of these low pressures, guys, you can get some strong winds out of nowhere. You see, here's our rotating low pressure, and here's the tail getting whipped, and this is when you get helicity or vorticity. Helicity is a rating of vorticity, but here's your tail, and it's gonna whip up the coast, and you can get some spin in these. Typically it's going to be up in the northern sector, though. I don't think we're expecting any tornadoes up here, though, but we'll take a look at this. Because you need a certain amount of instability up there, too, which we won't have. But here we go. As we get into... So tomorrow... So this is interesting tomorrow. This is Friday. Let's look at where they have our threat against tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I'm taking a look at this updated, and it's not necessarily... I'm not necessarily agreeing with this risk zone. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Let's look at this again. Let's go to our instability and see where it's happening. I don't need sectors. We'll just go to our surface cape for now. Okay. So this is what we're looking at here. You can see the boundary. All right, so if anything, this looks like it's going to be... What day is tomorrow? Is tomorrow Thursday? That is such a weird risk zone for tomorrow, guys. I'm just telling you, that's a weird risk zone for tomorrow. The Her models has a disagreement with it. Unless we're talking about, I guess, maybe around 8, 9 p.m. I don't... The Her model isn't agreeing with it. Let's look at the NAM 3K and see if I can find something that agrees with it. Yeah, right, dude? Storm Center? Yeah. I'm trying to find a model that agrees with it. I just have a feeling there's going to be a big adjustment. Okay, the NAM's given something here. You could make your risk zone around this, potentially, but... They're just not. There's what it looks like they're thinking is going to happen is like some sort of initiation in here that's not fully happening. We're not even getting any supercell action out here. So maybe, yeah, I mean, you could see them making... Okay, I could see them making it around this. I could see them making their risk zone around that right there. So this is late afternoon, early evening hours. Who's calling me? Talk to me. Did they win? Sorry, I've been busy all day. How much time's left? Yes! Panthers win. Yeah, Tampa's gonna go golfing. All right, I'll call you a little bit later. Bye. Yeah, guys, sorry. None of these models agree with the risk zone except for the NAM, and I wouldn't be surprised if SBC is going off the NAM. They do it a lot. So let's look at this time frame. Let's assume right now we're talking late afternoon, early evening, because that's what it looks like to me. Let me look at our instability during this time frame. Sorry, guys. This is usually you see models that agree somewhat with the risk zone, and none of these models agree much with the risk zone, so it's a little bit weird. Super weird. Like, I don't know what the heck SBC is doing. Let's take a sounding out here. I mean, you can get large hail out of this. You're not going to see any tornadoes out of this. Let's go into Kentucky. 3100 surface cape. None of this is tornadic. Let's go and take a look at our... so they've got a little tornado risk right through there. I'm not seeing... I mean, I guess we can go to our SIG tour. 1.0 effective layer SIG. I'm trying to give you guys the best guesstimation of what's going on tomorrow, and these models just don't want anything to happen tomorrow. So, and maybe that's the case, but okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this. Not much in here. I'll get to your guys' questions in a second. I'm trying to figure this out here. All right, this is the time frame we're looking at here. This looks like it could be early afternoon into early evening, or afternoon into early evening, guys, for tomorrow. I don't see any... The tornado params are pretty low. I think you'll probably get a tornado or two, but I don't expect it to be too intense. The tornado params are pretty low. There is a lot of instability. There's just a not... Let's look at our dew points, too. This is... I would not call this spicy. The dews or whatever. Actually, they're not bad. They get up to close to 70 in southwestern Ohio, but yeah, there's not much going on here. I'm not too concerned with tomorrow. I'm not too concerned with tomorrow. Yeah, we do have this hatched hail down there in Texas, which, let's see what the Her instability is. It's probably crazy. Well, let's look at our most unstable Cape down there in Texas tomorrow. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, when you're pushing 5,500 Cape, yeah, that's the most ridiculous photograph I've ever seen. No, it's not. But I mean, Cape wise, this is insane. Yeah, this could drop some. This could drop some, car-sized hail on you. 5,500 surface Cape. Yep, only 38 inhibition. But tornado chances are almost zero. I mean, not very low. Helicity shear way down, but that's a stupid amount of Cape down in Texas. You guys are used to that though. You guys are constantly getting ridiculous Cape down there. Yeah. Sorry, I think you're gonna see some no more hail. I think the hail it's really weird how they have it. These two little hatch zones. You rarely ever see this little split like this, but so I would pay attention if you're in Dallas, if you're in Austin, if you're in Houston, because this hail's not going to fall exactly in those spots. So that's what's going on. I'll make this quick so I can answer you guys' questions. Day 3, not looking like much either right now. We'll take a look super quickly at the NAM. This is going to be going into Friday. Okay. This is going to be going into Friday, which, the NAM has actually kind of this area, a little bit different of a look. The SBC has this. So they're clearly not too confident in that setup. I'll take a look at the HRRR too, just for fun real quick, and then I'll get to your questions. Yeah, okay, the HRRR, yeah, the HRRR's got a similar setup. The HRRR is actually favoring more of a sideways, while the SPC has this risk zone up like this. So I could take more time to dive into the actual parameters and the wind direction and the dew points and stuff like that, but I won't do it on stream and bore you guys. We'll just look at the models. I'll do that off stream. Gwenny, Cindy, Scooter, NTX, appreciate you. Okay, how do you get the marker? I'm on Google Chrome. Do you have Google Chrome? Just go Google Chrome extensions. Type in Google Chrome extension on Google. Web Paint. It's called Web Paint for Google Chrome. And then I just click it up in the corner and draw and then erase. Chicago, let's take a look. A little messy up in Chicago tomorrow morning. Should be clearing out as we get into the afternoon hours. Maybe a scattered thunder shower. And scattered thunder showers all the way through until we get almost into Saturday night. So it's not looking too bad for you guys, at least based on the HRRR. We can take a look, though, at our actual main reflectivity. Severe chances don't look too... yeah, I mean, you guys are in a general thunder tomorrow. That's pretty much all you're having to deal with. Have you discussed what took place in Pittsburgh yesterday? I saw that. It was like the second highest wind or third highest winds and most damaging day from straight line winds or something like that. Yeah, I saw pictures and everything. We knew it was a possibility. They were under a... Oh my God. What were they under? 30% hatched wind threat? Did it? I think it ended up going hatched. So yeah, that was forecast as a possibility. And it pretty much the high end of what could have happened. Very unfortunate. Stephanie, I appreciate the sub. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, I appreciate that. Stephanie, since you subbed, you do get access to the Discord, so if you want to join it, it's a good time. We got a bunch of people in here in the Discord. Updated every day. Live. We got a fun community in there, always talking. Just let it cook. I appreciate you. Thank you, Steph. Tomorrow's more hail and wind, not much. Yeah, Kyle, that's what we were saying. I didn't see much hail and wind. Probably why the SPC, yeah, why the SPC is so big. I agree. It's a really weird setup tomorrow. I'd love to hear what Matt has to say about it. I'll call him in a second. Anytime I see something like really weird when I'm looking at the modeling, I'm like, I like to confirm that Matt is seeing the same exact thing as me, and he usually is. He's usually seeing the same exact thing as me. We agree on most things. Every now and then he'll say something and I'll be like, no, but it's rare. We have to have our own minds sometimes. Can you check Saturday morning for Georgia? Yeah, I guess we can go into the Rufus, even though this model's been doing wacky stuff lately. Yeah, there could be some isolated scattered showers Saturday morning through Georgia. If there's going to be a strong thunderstorm, though, to me it looks like it's going to be late afternoon into the early evening hours. Not in the morning. Gayla, it's, let's just say very close. I can't give details because I told the wife I wouldn't, but let's just say I have to take tomorrow and a few days off. Yep. Leanne, can we return to sender? I've had marble size hail for like 3 days straight. That's so annoying. Return the hail to sender. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, listen, let me tell you something, Leanne. It's much harder to send hail up than it is to send it down. Did you see the two massive low pressure systems? One over the Rockies, the other over the Mississippi River Valley. Forgot which model it was though. Thing covers the whole U.S. after the high pressure. Oh yeah, it's been showing that for a while. I haven't actually looked at a long range model in a long time because we've had so much craziness going on with our short ranges. I haven't looked at a long range in a while. Appreciate the follows, guys. 8 new followers. Let's go, baby. Oh yeah, look at this. Whoop. Does that not look like okay, guys, you know what this looks like. Come on. You know what this looks like. Here's the hair. Here's the hair. Here's the eyes. Some bags under the eyes. What does that hair look like? Am I crazy? He's controlling our weather now. The 500 millibar Trump stream, not the jet stream. Man. That's him. That's Trump. This is huge. Oh, you don't see it? You don't see that hair? Oh my God. I don't know how you don't see it. Let me put some eyebrows on. How do you not see it? Oh, I see what some people are seeing. Yes, I see what some people are seeing. Okay, funny. You know what's funny? Yeah, some people's minds see Trump, some people's minds see boobs. I guess it's whatever, you know. Wherever you are. That is funny. Anyways, they roll on out of there. But let's look at this for a second. That is a crazy look. And I have to tell you, these two boundaries, something weird's going to happen in between here. This is like so much directional shear. You've got winds going this way, this way, this way. So weird. I mean, look at this. Okay, yeah, this is a very interesting setup. Very interesting setup. This is going to be messy for Texas. I hate to tell you. Once again, Texas, this is going to be messy for. we could see a multiple day severe. We could actually see a decent severe weather event up into the mid-Atlantic. This I'm looking at this up here too, and the divergence that could be happening. This could be a really weird threat up here for the Northeast. Let's take a look at Cape out here. Well, I don't like surface-based Cape on this. Let's take a look. Not at Sid. We'll look at this. Okay. Yeah, this is such a weird setup. It's almost like the systems are keeping... I don't even know what to think about that. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. I can't remember the last time I saw two giant low pressures over the U.S. with your main jet stream to the north. I can't remember the last time I saw this pattern. So I'm sure it's happened before. We're going to have to go back and look. But there's going to be some interference here. There's going to be some bad weather probably through this region. Matt, you're here? Matt, were you in here when we said, what does this look like? Do you see the hair? The eyes? Matt, who does that look like? Green, I appreciate you. Okay, Perryville? Dude, look at the hair. It's DJT. I got 2 responses, and then I got someone else saying something else, but you know. All right, enough of being immature, guys. Listen, guys. Matt, I want your opinion on this. Since you're in here, I was going to call you, so you stopped by at the right time. Corey, I appreciate you. So let's look at... Matt, this risk zone doesn't seem to mesh well with many of the short-range models. Do you agree or disagree? The only model I can see that looks like it likes that risk zone is the NAM 3K. Just based off of reflectivity. If we're talking about Thursday, I mean... I guess you could take early storms, late storms, and then put a risk zone through here, I guess. But we have... Yeah, super unorganized. We have nothing through this region the entire day, basically, though. At least on the HER. The NAM 3K shows us differently for tomorrow. The NAM 3K gives us a little something, something, I think. Yeah, you see, the NAM 3K gives us a little something, something to work with down here. But super unorganized. And then you've got all the models showing our initiations happening like this. Yet we have the SPC on day 3 liking this. So... who knows? Who knows anymore, guys? Gianna, what's going on? What's going on? Meteorologist Mark Mayer. It's like Matt said, it's unorganized, and I think that we're going to see the SPC zones wobble around a little bit in the next couple updates. I do think so. So we had some people asking questions. We had some people asking questions about Missouri. I'll go off the HER for now. And we had some people asking questions about Ohio. We've got some of the worst weather moving out of Missouri tonight. Some scattered showers possible as we move into tomorrow morning. And then we'll have to watch for the potential for some severe weather you can see here as we get into Friday evening. Later into Friday. We'll see. I don't think that's going to produce anything severe, but At least on the herd, you're looking pretty good. Not really. You've got southeastern Missouri in a marginal. Nothing looking crazy. Ohio, yeah, there's a little bit more going on for Ohio. You've got, if there's gonna be, let's go back to our instability. Yeah, I mean, decent amount of instability up there. Not really seeing any sort of tornado threat. It's probably going to be a wind-driven threat up here in Ohio, if I'm being honest. Tomorrow. We got a decent amount of surface cape, 2,500 to 3,000 maybe, but so maybe wind and hail, but there's not going to be much rotation up there. Let me push back here. Give me a second. Yeah, 120 SRH, 24 surface shear. It's a little bit. There's almost no directional shear at the surface, so I don't expect anything to spin up there. Not impossible, but I don't expect it. What is Central Texas supposed to look like tomorrow? Matt, how was your stream if you're still in here? Boring? Pretty much the U.S. going to split in half because of this storm. Yeah, Central Texas. Got some thunderstorms firing up tomorrow afternoon. Moving off east as we get into the evening. And then we'll really have to watch this right here. This is going to be your Friday. All the models have a lot of clusters right here heading off east. SBC seems to think we're going to get a little bit more up to the north. So we'll trust their guidance. But models are really liking... Yeah, I mean, and we looked through the other ones earlier, so I'm not just basing this off the HRRR. The other models agreed. The Rufus and the NAM agree with the kind of this. They're all kind of agreeing with the more southerly initiation down here. So that's the HRRR. We can look at the NAM. Same thing. There it is. Even farther off to the south. Rufus, I think, shows the same exact thing. Let's see. There it is. Oh, no. There it is. This model's crazy. This model is like the hype model. This model's like worst case scenario model. Yeah. But not really seeing the Friday action up to the north. It doesn't mean it couldn't happen, though. Not seeing it right now. We can take a look, though, and this is what I like doing. Let's take a look at the parameters for it. Maybe there's a little bit of a dry line or something up there. Let's take a look. I don't think so, although I haven't looked at it. No, there's not. There's not a big dry line up there. You would need a trough pushing through. I'm trying to figure out what the heck the SPC is doing. I mean, yeah, you've got instability up north on Friday. Actually, no, most of it stays south. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. Look at all that. Like, there's no instability up here either. I don't know why they have a marginal reaching into Oklahoma, but sometimes they're right and I'm wrong. Double D, not yet. I can promise you this. This is the last. Well, let's just say it's very soon. Let's just say it's very, very soon. Probably won't be on long tonight. Can you go back in time and look at May 1999 for Oklahoma? What happened? Tornado? Bridge Creek Oh, yeah. How's the Bridge Creek? Yeah. probably should have known that. What happened in Pittsburgh, PA last night? Heard it was bad. Yeah, really, really intense straight line winds. Yep, MCS moved right over their heads. Yep. Yeah, that thing was intense. My phone was yelling at me all night. They're like, woo, woo, woo. Charles, I appreciate that, dude. Think about this, Charles. I created that Discord like 3 weeks ago. Like, it's going to be awesome. Give me a couple months. Everything that's in there has happened really quickly. Give me a couple months. We're going to make it so cool. And I love people have been giving suggestions, too. Someone also just suggested, I've done a couple suggestions already, like our Thunder Buddies group chat. Someone also suggested, and then there was something else someone suggested I did. And then someone also said I should upload my VODs. Like, I have a channel that you can watch my VODs on after I stream each night, so that if you missed it, you can go and like see if you have any questions or anything like that. It'd probably be really easy for me to do. So I'm like, why not just upload everything right to there? Discord name is it's Connor's Climate Corner HQ. It's I let in like 200 people for free, but I have to pay a lot of money for bots and for the servers and all this other crap. So it's $3 a month now. But it's YouTube members get access, TikTok members get access, which is $3 a month, or you can just subscribe right to the Discord, which is $3 a month. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, it has everything. It should accept your phone number in Discord. Yeah, Connor's Comic Corner HQ. Thanks, B. Yeah, because when you sub on TikTok, it gives you it makes you a subscriber in my Discord. What's going on, Benjamin? So yeah. Anyways, guys, the next few days is sloppy. It looks sloppy. It's nothing looks. We're gonna get bad weather over the next few days. It's inevitable, and that is because we have. Let me show you. Let's just look at the big picture. Oh, good, our 500 millibar. We've got this trough ejecting off to the north. So this is going to pull off to the north. With it's going to pull moisture, buoyant air, and we'll have a little bit of rotation in the middle here, where you have westerlies and southerlies where they're crossing. They're expecting a little bit of rotation here, maybe for some tornadic activity. That's going to eject off. And then you can see what begins to happen as we get into Friday. You get some interesting divergence down here and some stronger winds beginning to push back in. So that's going to be down in Texas. But there's going to be severe weather. It's just a really messy setup. We don't have any major trough and nothing tilting. It's a really messy, it's a really messy looking jet stream. So I don't think anyone really knows exactly where that severe weather is going to be, but the SPC is the best guidance. Yeah, I think there's a big portion down here that might not even see any based on the latest runs, but it could. It's just a weird setup, guys. Yeah, over on YouTube it's members. Members get access to it. Classes, subs under each channel. Wait, I don't get it. Yeah, Charles, I'm excited. Do I think Brazos or Grimes County will get a tornado? I don't know where either of those are. Let's see if I can find it on here. Brazos County. Oh, is that College Station? Yeah, that's 100% possible. Yeah. This is our this is it's possible. Yeah, let's look into Friday. A lot of action down here. Central to southern Texas. All central, eastern. I missed the space dog. I didn't even realize. Oh my god, Pam, I'm sorry. Thank you, Pam. Holy crap. I didn't even realize. I don't know why it didn't show up on my screen. Oh man. Now I feel bad. Thank you, Pam. You're the best. I appreciate that. But yeah, Friday afternoon into Friday evening looks a little bit sketch for Central and Eastern Texas. I mean, Texas has just been getting hammered lately, guys. Oh, that's a good point. What does CSU think? Yeah. Thank you, Pam. Let's take a look. That's a good question. I don't know why I wasn't. My brain's fried today. I've had a lot of work that isn't weather stuff, and then with the weather stuff and a 2-year-old will fry your brain. Let's see. CSU. Oh, God, I hate when they're down. It's okay. We'll find it. Let's do. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Here we go. Yeah, you see? CSU, wait. No, okay, that's it's not even showing. Are they down again? I think I posted it on my Discord this morning. Let me see. Handy dandy Discord. The CSU links always go down. Okay, here we go. Let's see, day 1, day 2. Yeah, CSU doesn't really yeah, CSU completely disagrees. Here. I'll just show you this. Notice the difference? This is just like a huge marginal. No, pretty much a couple spots of slight. For hail, you've got a. I guess they got it. They do have a 2% tornado risk though, up through PA and Ohio. If anything, I agree with that more than the SBCs that has them farther southern. Big marginal down here for wind as well. They do have a. They've got a slight where SBC has the tornado, but yeah, the CSU is usually more aggressive, and they're actually being less aggressive, which is interesting. So, yeah, neither of them agree very much. This forecast is giving me a headache. I looked at tornado parameter. Most of them are Dallas. You think Dallas for Friday? Tor params? We can take a look. I'll go off the HRRR and we'll take a look. SIGTOR params. We'll see if we can pull a big SIGTOR param near Dallas. All right, so here's a huge SIGTOR param near Dallas. Let's see what it reads. Well, first thing I can tell you is, although you've got a 5.0 SIGTOR param, this is a messed up photograph. Plenty of directional shear at the surface though. There may be some inhibition there. There's the rotation's good. You see how they just have a regular TOR, even though it was a high SIGTOR param? The shear is a little bit awkward. Dew points aren't really riding up your temperature either. Yeah, and you don't have that southwesterly flow. You can have like really bright, really strong Sigtor params and it still not work out. Let's try this one here. This one's a little bit more impressive. Tiny bit more. Still a weird photograph. There's inhibition. Just Tor. Yeah, I mean this one's not a bad look. But are you gonna have yeah, Thursday at midnight, are you even gonna have storms up here is the question. And it doesn't look like you're gonna. This is when the photograph this is when the sounding we were just looking at was. So that tells me that there's probably an issue with the scent, meaning there's no dry line set up here at this time. There's no dry line set up here. There's no temperature gradient. So let's look. 00Z Friday. Or actually, let's go to the 6Z. Maybe there was something there. Oh, there was. A little bit. Out here. To the west. We do not have... Let's go into the dew points. Yeah. There's no significant dry line. Let me look at our temperatures. I can see why they have a hail threat, but I don't know. Tornado threat, not so much. Do I give lessons on reading weather radars? When I'm doing this full time, I will. Once I'm making enough off my content creation and everything that I can make this my full-time job, that's one thing I want to do is get into like mentoring people. Is Chicago going to have anything serious? Nothing serious in Chicago's immediate future, no. Other than some thunderstorms that, you know, I don't think they're going to be severe. Can I do Mexico? I can try, although we're not really, a lot of these, we don't have any short-range models down there in Mexico. Can I even... Yeah, it'd be very hard for me to do Mexico. I could probably do it on windy. I could probably do it on Radar Omega. But I'm not gonna have good details about it. Because all I can really do down here is look at a global model. I can't look at a, you know, the US has national models that are like, just like way better than everything else. So I could look at like, the GFS and see what's going on down here, but it's not going to be with detail. I could see the upper level winds and stuff too. But it's going to be very low detail. What I do want to start looking at, though, is what's going on out here in the Atlantic. You know what I mean? Because our waters are warm, and we're expected to stay in an ENSO neutral. And that, to me, looks like a tropical storm. Although it's not going to affect anyone, and it's far out in the radar. But we will start seeing some spin-ups shortly. So a little bit of tropical waves coming in over here into the Western Gulf as well. But you usually don't get tropical development initiating in the Gulf and early hurricane season. It all initiates out here off the western coast of Africa. What are the chances of a tornado in Grand Rapids, Michigan? Very low. Very low. We don't have anything that's telling us you could have a... I mean, like, you could get a tornado in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah, like 100%. But, like, like soon? No. I mean, yeah, they're possible in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They've happened before. All right, let me get back into... pivotal weather. Bounce out here. Is Alabama going to get hit hard? Doesn't look like it right now. No. Doesn't look like it right now. You've got northern Alabama in this threat zone for tomorrow. We can take a look at the radar. Even if we go into our 4-panel, your biggest threat is wind. There's a wind threat in northern Alabama. So that can cause some damage. I'd pay attention, but tornado threats close to none. We get tornadoes on days when it's close to none, though, so you still have to pay attention. The most severe portion of the day, let's actually check that out for down here in the south. Even though none of the models agree. Let's yeah, I'll just block a blocked user. There you go. Yeah, I'm just gonna I just banned him. Here we go. Yeah, the HRRR doesn't show anything. I mean, the HRRR shows nothing down here. This looks interesting for Alabama, though. Friday. We'll have to watch that. And then NAM, 3K. A little potential supercell activity in there. Yeah, there's some isolated, interesting cells tomorrow afternoon through Alabama. And then again, we're seeing the possibility of some Friday afternoon as well. Up here. But nothing too scary. It's going to be bad weather for a few days in a row. This is getting into Saturday. So nothing looks majorly severe, though, for you guys in Alabama. How will Missouri be? Missouri doesn't look too bad either. You guys are only in a marginal over the next 3 days. So most of this weather is going to be to your southeast. Yeah. Did we get it'd be a La Nina. Did we get a watch? I remember the NWO said. We're expected to stay in an end zone neutral. Well, we're forecast to stay in an end zone neutral all the way through fall and winter right now, which means aggressive hurricane season. And if you guys want more snow down in the south, which I know we had like record-breaking snow in the southeast this year, but typically El Niños, just on average over the last 200 years, typically El Niños bring cooler and snowier winters to the south. Not always. It's like 7 out of 10, it's like a 60-70% of the time they will. And then sometimes it'll be the complete opposite, like this year. This year was a La Nina that acted very El Nino-esque, especially for the Northwest. Is Southern Kentucky going to get hit bad tomorrow or Friday? Let's take a look at let's go up here. Let's go up here to Southern Kentucky. Here's your 4-panel for tomorrow. So the SPC's got you in a little bit of a tornado risk. I don't know. Maybe. I guess I kind of agree. There's a chance. Marginal hail. They've got you in a slight wind again. Very low tornado risk. A little bit of a wind risk, and then just a general thunderstorm. On Friday, we can push in here and see what the NAM thinks about the region, the Ohio Valley. This is interesting. Getting into Thursday late morning, and then into the afternoon here, evening. Still not seeing really any supercell initiation there. Maybe a little bit here, Friday, but again, that doesn't look like much to me. We have these risk zones, and we have these models just showing nothing, basically. Again, you could get something out of this here. But this is Thursday night. It just nothing looks very impressive on these models right now. You're probably going to get thunderstorms, but nothing's looking majorly severe. 605 BC Laddie, I appreciate you guys. What's going on? What is going on? Love when my friends come visit. College Station, Texas is getting lots of thunder and lightning. Very gusty winds. Yeah, you guys got a little something rolling through right now. Yeah, you guys got a little something rolling through. Ready? Let's see. Where's College Station? Okay, College Station. There it is. Ooh, it's getting close. Oh, it is like on top of you guys. Let's see. Let's make it so you guys can hear the lightning here. Let's see if we can get the sound to work. Why isn't the sound working? Come on. Yeah, this is packing 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts. You also got really high cloud tops about to move over College Station too. So I would take stuff off your balcony, if you know what I mean. Power outages already? Yeah. Yeah. I don't see... you know, you're under no severe threat right now. Yeah, you're under no severe threat right now. Let's go to a short range model really quickly and see what's going on with you guys. Yeah, I mean, give me this radar. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you guys will be okay. Let's look at our shear and rotation. No, you guys are good. A little bit of hail back there, maybe, though. Doesn't look like we're going to get any sort of spin up in there. How does St. Louis look for tonight? Let's take a look. You guys are still in that marginal. Yeah, this is just a... that main boundary's passed. Where am I? Sorry, I was way too far south. Why was I... There we go. I was like, what am I looking at? Your air should be way too rain cooled. Yeah, they're going to move this boundary. They're going to move this boundary off to the east. You guys should be good. You guys should be good. We're not going to see anything severe up there. Are tomorrow's storms going to be bad? Tomorrow's weird because it's not a big QLCS event where you have a big squall line and that can drop a lot of severe weather, but it's usually not as damaging because, you know, the storms kind of split energy with each other. It's a very isolated, sporadic event tomorrow, which means you could get a bunch of random, intense, isolated supercells. But models are really not showing much as of now. So there's not much to work with. You know, let me pull back up Pivotal Weather. This is what we were looking at. We've got a big risk zone tomorrow. Basically through this region. If my memory serves me correct. Yeah, that's good enough. And let's move ahead with our HRRR. That's not it. Here we go tomorrow. Now, this is like our risk tomorrow. Now, notice there's not much going on. You've got like isolated thunderstorms in here. A little bit of a squall line forming out here. Maybe some isolated cells in these regions, but it's a very, very, very sloppy looking event. This to me, Friday looks way more well organized right now to me. And they don't really even have, they're not really even talking about this. We might get an extension on our risk zone on Friday. So this is our Friday risk zone right now. We'll see. Something tells me we might get something like this, but we'll have to see. It's all a big disorganized mess. You know, when you get these big powerful troughs that come in and they dig down, they come in and they dig and they pull all this moisture. That's super, that's much easier to predict. Now we had a flop the other day, but that's just because our directional winds, we had winds parallel on the surface and up at the 500 millibar level. These were not supposed to be parallel on the surface. So that kind of busted the whole thing. But typically when that happens, you have a good line of severe weather that's pretty easy to pick out. This is just a bunch of air masses running into each other without a very clear dry line or a very clear temperature gradient. It's a messy thing. Yeehaw, ride him, cowboy. Dang it. Nora, sorry, I missed the cowboy hat. Yeah, I missed the cowboy hat. I'm sorry. I just saw it. Did I catch the end of it? Probably not. Yeehaw, ride him, cowboy. Yes. Nice. Yeehaw. She got me the second time. Ooh. Thanks, Alyssa. I appreciate you guys. Chad, I appreciate you. Thanks, Alyssa, Nora. You guys rock. Can you review the St. Louis area over the next 2 days? I guess. If you're going to make me. Don't break the chair. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, let's look at the St. Louis region. I don't know why I put so much trust in the HRRR. All the other models are worse. Oops. No, we don't want that. So, let's look at our risk zones for St. Louis. Let's take our risk zones for St. Louis first. Categorical, marginal tomorrow. Not much. General thunderstorm on Friday. Not much going on. We get into tomorrow morning. Things really clear up. You could get an isolated shower throughout the day tomorrow. Nothing really happening. Your little marginal threat you have tomorrow is like this. Right here. So your marginal threat tomorrow is probably afternoon, early evening. And then there's not much going on. You're going to get rain multiple days in a row, but your severe weather threat is really just tomorrow afternoon into the early evening. And it's not a big threat. There's basically no rotation on that boundary. You could get some strong gusts and pea-sized hail maybe over the next couple days. You could get worse, but the odds of it would be very low. Henry. Appreciate you, Henry. Indianapolis weather the next 2 days. Let's see. Let's take a look at our SPC. You guys are in that slight on the day 2. So, you guys are in that slight on the day 2. So that's your Thursday threat. And it's because you have a low up to your north. You know, the SPC does have a tornado threat here on day 2. I know that. You're likely going to have a wind-driven, tornado-driven slight. Timing for that, let's take a look. Because we've got no supercells here. It would most likely be this event here, which would be late afternoon into the early evening right there. As these pull through. Yeah, as these pull through. So we can take a look at our SigTorp RAMs just to see what's happening up there. I don't expect anything jumping off the map, though. This is way farther out east. Maybe the SPC will shift. Will shift their tornado zone, but then you also have this line right here, which is, again, late afternoon, early evening hours. Wind threat, very small tornado threat, very small tornado threat. But let's actually take a sounding out of that real quick from Southern Indy. You got Cape. Yeah, there's no helicity. Yeah, there's not much going on here. Let me take a look at the surface-based Cape as well, just to make sure. What a weird setup, guys. What a weird setup. I need to look at another model for Indiana. All these models are just showing absolute duds. You see, this makes more sense. This makes more sense to me. With what the SPC is looking at. They've got to be looking at the NAM. They've got to be looking at the NAM. That's the timing I was talking about. So this right here would be, so 18, so 6 p.m. minus 5, 1 p.m. That would be 1. Yeah, that'd be 1 p.m.-ish tomorrow. So storm's starting to move in potentially into the Indianapolis area. Actually around 11, 12, 1, 2, and then moving out. That to me looks like your time frame. But even the NAM isn't seeing any supercell initiation with this. The NAM, the HRRR isn't. If the Rufus isn't either, then I don't know what to tell you. Because the Rufus is the aggressive. The Rufus is the aggressive model, and it's showing none either. A little bit down there in southern Illinois, but it's looking like a dud tomorrow right now. Who knows though? There are going to be thunderstorms rolling through the area, so it doesn't take much sometimes to get these things to pop off. Is Kansas just going to be regular thunderstorms for the next year? Henry, thank you. I got you. Give me a second. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is Kansas just going to be regular thunderstorms for the next 2 days? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. You guys are in general thunderstorms both days. And, wait, what did I do? There we go. You guys are in general thunderstorms both days, and there's nothing that shows me that it wouldn't be general thunder. Any flooding up in the Midwest? I don't think so. Let me go over Grand Rapids too. Let's take a look at our 48-hour rainfall here. Here's day 1 excessive rainfall. I should actually add this into my Discord. I don't know why I don't have this in my Discord. Day 1 excessive rainfall. Oh, there's an idea. I mean, I have a flooding. I should just add it to it. So we don't really have. You've got marginal day 1, marginal day 2 up in the Midwest, but not looking crazy. We can look at our rainfall over the next 72 hours. Wouldn't want to live down in Texarkana, I can tell you that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they're getting a lot of rain down there. All right, Pam, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Pam. Have a good night. B58 Spices. Yeah, Grand Rapids. Some of this I don't even need to go through the models because you guys are general thunder, nothing. General thunder, nothing. There's not much happen. There's not much. You guys can get a scattered thunderstorm up here tomorrow or the next day, but you're not going to have any sort of instability in the region. So the latest Rufus. Let's look at the latest Rufus. It puts a little something something down in the Michigan, but I don't think it's much. I'll pull into it and check. Yeah, not much. Scattered thunderstorms. Your instability is going to be down here below this line. How's Pittsburgh going to be tomorrow? Do we have a chance for a disaster? That happened yesterday. No, you guys were in a moderate. You guys were at a 30% wind yesterday. That I don't want to say that was expected, but that was a possibility yesterday. It doesn't really look like a possibility tomorrow. If we go into your let's go into your 4-panel threat up there for Pittsburgh. You guys have a wind-driven threat. It's a slight, so it's 15%. Based on the latest models, let's see if we have any sort of MCS moving through the Pittsburgh region. Let's take a look up there in Pittsburgh. Zoom in. Yali. Right. Yeah. Yali, did you see that excessive rainfall? Let's see if we got any sort of like MCS look up here, guys. Meaning a strong wind boundary. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want this moving through Pittsburgh like this. The HRRR breaks it up right before it makes it through, which is why the slight cancels out right to your east. But I would not love it. I wouldn't love it if this made it another 50 miles to the east. I'd say pay very close attention tomorrow at around yeah, you could see something as early as 7-8 p.m. That could get a little gusty. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was yesterday now. But yeah, I mean, look at this, though, Yali. Look at this, Yali. We get a little break on day 3. Crazy. All right, I need to go to bed. Tomorrow is going to be a very long day for me. Eastern West Virginia. I think you guys are looking okay. Not too spicy over there in Eastern West Virginia. Not too spicy. Elijah, what's up? You in the back. You in the back. You in the back. That was from today, Ollie. I don't want to scare you. Northeast PA is chilling tomorrow. So you can get some thunderstorms. I wouldn't worry too much. Nice little breeze. How do you tell the difference between a regular storm and a supercell? Well, there's a few ways. There are some models that will help you. Like the HRRR, and when there's a supercell, it'll do this. You see these little circles? See those extra little circles in there? Can you see that? You see like this thing down here? See that? A little circle, there's a little beads. But you typically can also know if it's going to be a supercell when you start to get a QLCS forming like this, a band of storms, or a discrete cluster near that band of storms. You're typically going to have some good shear along that boundary and some good, okay, lift out ahead of it. And you know that you could get supercell development along that boundary. When you I wouldn't worry. Yeah. F those supercells. They're not so super. You know, when you see these kind of off the beaten path storms, you're probably not gonna you're not gonna have instability back there for anything significant. I use Texas as an example right now because Texas is ground zero right now. Yali, does it ever stop raining there? Jeez. Yeah, you still got lightning in the area. Lightning. Plenty of lightning surrounding you still. That's where I went to school, Les. Florida State University. Go Noles, baby. My time zone's east. Mother Nature's just off her meds. Murfreesboro, Tennessee tomorrow. Should you be weather aware? Murfreesboro. I can't remember if Murfreesboro's east or west. Central. I think you kids are going to be just fine. I think you kids in Murfreesboro are going to be just fine. You've got a slight. It's wind driven. You got a 2% tornado risk out to your west. You've got a wind driven slight, and you have models that don't want to do anything over Tennessee. I mean, a little bit of something. So yeah, if the question is should I say weather alert, you should. There's instability in the atmosphere around Murfreesboro. So, the HRRR has some random storms initiating again in central Tennessee, right at around 19Z, which would be about 3 p.m. Because it would be 7 minus 5, 2 p.m. So, yeah, I'd pay attention tomorrow afternoon. Not looking too threatening right now. I gotta hit the hay. Sorry I got on late, guys. I wanted to stream for a couple hours tonight. But the Discord will be updated again in the morning, and I'll let you guys know what's happening with everything. Yeah, Santi, fine. You in the back. Northeast Alabama should be good. I'd stay weather alert tomorrow, but your threat is wind driven. Okay, Santi. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Oh, Yali sent it. Yeehaw, ride up, cowboy. Well, at least I got Nora's earlier. This guy. Yeah. I got some exciting news for you guys tomorrow too, by the way. Climate crew, unite. I got some exciting news. Over the next 2 days, guys. It's going to be awesome. Yes. All right. Everyone have a great night. Love you all. Peace.